la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum bum la 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum bum la 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 la, la 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh. Hey, 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 hey. Happy days are on the way, yeah, that's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
Well, today is a good day. It's a good day because Stein is 50. This is a milestone. You've come a long way. And I pray for you that the lines will fall for you in pleasant places, and that God will give you long life, a sound mind, and the strength to serve your boss to the end as you've always done. You've been consistent, you've been faithful, you've been trustworthy in serving your boss, hardworking, always behind the scenes, making sure your boss looks good and that everything is working right. That is a blessing. We celebrate you and we thank God for you. On this day of your birth, I pray that your latter will even be better and greater than your past. God bless you, Stein. Live long and prosper. Happy birthday.
Stan, I've known you through your boss, Julius Zebra, and I've always admired the excellent working relations between the two of you. On the occasion of your 50th birthday anniversary, I wish you all the best of luck in all your endeavors. And my advice is, in life, it is good to be loyal, to be honest, and to be hard-working in all your endeavors. Happy birthday to you, Stan, and have a wonderful celebration.
For the rest of your years, may the Lord himself take full charge of your life, order your steps, possess the territories that the Lord himself has blessed. And at the end of it all, may the Lord be glorified because Standobe lived. Once in a lifetime, in everybody's life, you need a Standobe. And I mean it. Happy birthday, my darling.
God bless you, my brother. God richly bless you. God keep you. God increase you. I wish you good health, long life, and even more prosperity. Charlie, I know you are there for me, day, night, center. From my family, my darling husband, Hudu Mukhtari, our kids, we say a very, very happy birthday to you from all of us in the Bawa and Mukhtari households. We thank God for your life.
Stan, good men are rare. You are one of them. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my brother. I really, really want to enjoy this day with you because you and I know what we are celebrating. We've worked very hard to get to this point, and let's continue being the brothers we are and look after each other. Happy birthday again.
I've really enjoyed our working experience. Proud to you coming in as my deputy chief of staff. I'd always seen you as someone who was a bit boisterous and difficult to work with until I experienced your working experience. It turned out that you believe in the same work ethics I have, and nothing stays on your desk for even an hour. Man, Charlie, better days ahead though. A day for you. You've also a day for me all the time. Happy, prosperous birthday to you, brother.
50 years old. That's a grand age you are attaining. And I want to seize the occasion to wish you well and wish you many happy returns. Deputy Chief of Staff at Jubilee House, that's a very high position. And I trust that you'd use it for good causes. I say many, many happy returns. And I'm happy to getting this chance to pay my tribute to you. God bless you.
Stanislav Dogbe. It is said that you must be careful how you name your child. Stanislav is a Russian name. The Russians have deadly efficiency in what they do, but they have a very short fuse when things are going wrong. Your father could not have chosen a better name for you. But that is beside the point. Today is your special day. 50 years young, still a very young man. But what you've achieved within that 50 years is awesome. You are excellent. You have been loyal. I appreciate you for all the work that you do for me, for the brainstorming, for the thinking, for the strategy. Indeed, words cannot describe, how I appreciate the work we've done together. And so, at just 50, you still have your life ahead of you. Enjoy the day. And as you are known as chairman, have a very happy birthday. We appreciate you. We love you.
The Minister of Road and Highways, particularly without talking about one of your wishes, which is to complete the Swami interchange. Indeed, the reason is told, you are aware that it was because of the debt situation we had from 2022. That is why the project stalled, because it was a commercial. President Mahama has since directed that we incorporate that as part of his big push. And as we speak, Nana, all debts owed to the contractor in the excess of $25 million have been paid to the contractor. So we expect the contractor to be fully mobilized on site to be able to complete the project before the end of 2027 completely. Otunfor, something came up and we need to share with you. Currently, everybody coming to Kumasi or going beyond Kumasi need to drive to Swami Interchange or Swami Roundabout currently. That was the basis for which the design was made 40 years. Currently, one of the major projects we want to do is to do a bypass or to do a loop around Kumasi completely. Every major city in the world has got what we call a ring road or an orbital. So we are in the process of designing a complete orbital across around Kumasi, which is over 100 kilometers. The idea is to give opportunity that if you don't have anything to do at the center of Kumasi, you can hit the orbital and go around it and re-enter from wherever you want to enter. As a result, we are doing a bypass currently on site from just after Ijisu to, which the contractor is working, it's about 47 kilometers. The expectation is that when that is completed, those going beyond Kumasi, if you are not intending to come to Kumasi, you don't need to come and crowd the Swami interchange. So when you hear complaints about we want to reduce it, the levels, Nana, we don't intend to take one city out of the project.
I've been wanting to ask you this. LGBTQ has been a big deal in Ghana for some time. I've not seen you speak on it. Why have you changed your position on LGBT?
I have not changed my position on LGBTQ. And let's be very clear. I've been very quiet for obvious reasons. I mean, there's been a lot of misinformation that's been put out there. But let's call a spade a spade. President Mahama, when he won power, met with the Catholic Bishops' Conference, if you remember, in January, and indicated that he thought that the bill should be introduced as a government bill. A week after that, he appointed me as Minister for Communication. 2 weeks after, I went for my vetting. At my vetting, I indicated that I would reintroduce the bill as a private member's bill. So when people say that I have changed my position, I've actually stuck to my word. I said I was going to reintroduce the bill, and I did. I reintroduced the bill in August last year in Parliament with a number of my colleagues. The Parliament of Ghana is going through the process. In 2 weeks, the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs is going to be meeting on the bill. A 2-day meeting on the bill. So there is work going on. I hear people who say, you promise that President Mahama will know no peace if he doesn't sign the bill. Yes. If President Mahama gets the bill and he doesn't and chooses not to sign it, we will agitate like we did that in the past. Because as far as I'm concerned, Ghanaian family values are not political. Those who want to do politics with it is unfortunate. But as we speak today, there is no bill before President Mahama to sign. So what am I agitating or asking President Mahama to sign? Until we finish the process, and let me remind people, in 2021 when I introduced the bill, it took me 2.5 years to pass it through Parliament. I introduced the bill in September 2021. It only got passed in February 2024. Between 2021 September and February 2024, I never asked President Akufo-Addo to sign anything. In fact, for those who will remember, my fights were with the chairman of the committee at the time, Honorable Ayimedu, that he wasn't acting expeditiously in the committee. When the bill got passed by Parliament and it got to President Akufo-Addo and he decided not to accept the bill, that is when I took President Akufo-Addo on and said he should sign the bill. When the case went to court, I didn't take President Akufo-Addo on. I took Chief Justice Tokono on and led the first demonstration against a Chief Justice in this country, against Chief Justice Tokono. That demonstration, LGBTQ demonstration, was not against President Akufo-Addo. So today, if there is any agitation to be had, it is for Parliament to expedite the process and take the bill and pass it. But so long as the bill has not been passed, there is nothing that is sitting for President Mahama to sign. I am confident, and I remain reassured in the words of President Mahama, that when Parliament passes the bill, which we are working on, we will put it before him and he will sign it. For those who say that Sam George has changed his position, I introduced that bill as an MP when I was in the minister. If being a minister was supposed to silence me, I will not have been the lead sponsor of the bill again in Parliament. I have re-sponsored the bill. I will not trade my position on the innocence of Ghanaian children and my children and our Ghanaian family values for any political position. My views on LGBTQ remain the same. It's a serious aberration of the mind, and we will fight it with everything that we hold dear. To those who want to politicize this, sorry, we won't take the bait. We will not play politics with this. The innocence of our children is not political. Thank you.
I think it's about time we make politicians know we voted them into power. The cowardice that Christian leaders have been made to and religious leaders have been made to is a shame. And I'm embarrassed with some of our clergymen. As much as we are interested in our titles, in the big titles, and who we are and how long we served, I'm yet to hear certain people speak against these manners. And for me, that is a shame.
And I am appealing to politicians not to politicize homosexualism. Because if we don't take care, in our bid to try to be politically right, we'll be offending people who love us dearly. And I have a saying that the people who love you, don't hurt them.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning, and thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. It's the beginning of another week. It's the beginning of, maybe what I say, it's the beginning of the implementation of new promises, new ideas, and what I can tell you is that don't procrastinate. If you have something, just do it. As Nike would always say, just do it. I just hope that this week brings to you more blessings, more good news, and so on and so forth. Today is the 13th of April 2026, and this is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad in it. I want to say big thanks to the Almighty God for making it possible for us to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. Once again, I would walk you through what the papers are reporting this morning, but also say that we have a big guest who's joining us on the show. It's a very important conversation that we ought to have about Ghana, and more so is about revenue. Every country needs revenue to develop. Without a revenue, you can't develop. And so there's a man here who will be telling us, would having a conversation about how Ghana is generating its revenue, what are some of the systems that have been put in place to help Ghanaians understand the fact that these decisions or policy decisions that have been made is meant to do one thing, which is to make sure that the country works. It's as simple as that. So would engage him shortly. But before then, let me say that I have Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic this morning says Ghana to honor American astronaut Christian Koch after Artemis 2 moon mission. And there's Vice President launches Infantiman at 1:50. Government ponders Parkinson's on NHIS. Stakeholders advocate stronger policies for disease care. There's also government clears $25 million debt to Swami interchange contractor. Republic Bank urges local enterprises to scale up. And the Sedina Tunu heads home. U.S. court orders extradition. The Ghanaian Times says that fuel prices to go down, government moves to cushion consumers. The Kumasi faces imminent water crisis as Owabi, Barikisu dams heavily choked with plastic waste. Kanishi Foods Bridge closure puts pedestrians at risk. And there's Etresuhene stripped of his title for rebelling against the Ochimai. Daily Guide says that the U.S. court okays a convicted ex-Maxlock boss extradition. There's Ochimai strips Etresuhene of courtesies, and there's also ensure quality Accra Kumasi Expressway project, according to the Otumfor. 2 jailed 55 years for robbery. The Insight says Lands and Mines Watch GH validate Heath Goldfield's capacity at Bogosut Prestia mines. And then there's also Ghana must rethink its democracy, according to A+, my very good friend. He's been talking a lot lately, hasn't he? Anyway, there's Nkrumah, why he still matters in contemporary African politics. How the U.S.-Israeli aggression on Iran is strangling Palestinians in the West Bank. And there's also Ibrahim Traore, we do not want a democracy that kills. And there's that's for the insight for today. And then the Herald says Maritime Authority breaks silence on Samuel Oku's cocaine ship accusation. Sam Okujeto, a daughter law firm evade fraud claim in inheritance appeal. And then there's also Medina market traders allege extortion by suspected national security operatives. Energy expert warned against scrapping 12 pesos bust margin amid fuel price relief measures. Ghana's Kiki Beho appointed head of UN mission in South Sudan. The Ghanaian publisher says Heath Goldfields puts Ghana Trafigura on edge. There's Dr. Lawrence Tete's hypocrisy exposed. GADEC CEO accused of favoritism. There's Ochiman strips Etresuhene of title. The Custodian, minority demands transparency on 1 cedi Dumso levy. Omanhene fires GADEC CEO over bauxite agreement. There's the LGBTQ plus clergymen vocal under NPP, mute under NDC, but Catholic Methodist bishops still voices of conscience. Prudential Bank deepening strategic supply partnerships at 2026 conference. There's anti-LGBTQ plus will be passed. Bagwing assures. Daily Post says boss margin must stay. Vice President launches Infantipim 150th anniversary calls for future focused education reforms. Ghanaian contingent honored, a genocide memorial unveiled at Ashesi University. Let me now look at the the Inquisitor. It says that fuel prices reduction measures don't take away bust margin. Gegzim does not finance mining operations. That's Kujo slams AG over OSP case. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill will be passed, according to Speaker. Metroland says Turkey threatens Israel, labels Netanyahu Hitler of our time. And as Alhaji Fuzag donates Dawa bus to Ambaria Sunni community. There's government favors politics over farmers, according to minorities, And then anti-LGBTQ plus bill, a priority. Sam George has been talking. The BNFT says that PIAC flags risk in $205 million 10 FPSO acquisition, and there's RCB's urge to back community bank transition with real reforms, and there's World Bank warns of vulnerability to Middle East shock. The Daily Searchlight says the Bogosut Prestia mine at risk, Ghana risk losing key mining assets over mounting financial and legal concerns. And then there's also strident in Team Fojo oppose a fresh dialogue on anti-LGBTQ bill. And there's former Savannah Regional Minister Salifo Adam Brahma passes away after short illness. There's also the informer that says the NLED Bank salary cut claims there's a threatens legal action over falsehood. No imperial attorney general, legal scholar once again centralizing prosecutorial power. Why scrapping OSP would be a profound mistake. $94 million Smith cash allegation. Can AG prosecute his campaign financier? And there's a Chambers pushes for human-centered education reform. There is Yoko defense probe of Kwamega. Atopla declares him a fugitive. The New Crusading Guide says tension escalates in Akropong. Queen Mother lives in fear as youth residents demand justice. Samsiladi Ayenini slams Iyoko over disregard for court order in Council of State member case. Revealed, Heath Goldfields collateralized bogus Superstar mine for $65 million without prior government approval. Illegal sand mining in River Asukoko in Oti region. NDC financier excavates river for sand and rare stones. And there's Ochehene, Etresohene clash over authority. And then there's the Daily Statesman that says Heath Goldfields faces regulatory scrutiny. And it says after using Bogosu Prestia mine for $65 million financing without government approval, and as minority accuses government of prioritizing politics over cocoa farmers. There's also Manhine Kwabena Sante hits Giadex CEO over concession deals. There's Otreso Hine stripped of title over rebellion against Ochiman. Government warned over Sedina's extradition as U.S. courts grant approval. Let me go online quickly and look at what the online portals are reporting. There's a Ghana to announce new Black Stars coach today, Sports Minister, and this one is on metrotvonline.com. And there's also U.S. approves extradition of ex-Maslog boss Sedina Tamaklo to serve 10-year sentence. And there's fire at Risk Junction, destroys shops, but firefighters save 40 cars. Major Online this morning says the government loses over 600 million cedis in taxes from unaccounted petroleum product. And there's also the government could lose nearly 500 million cedis a month for every 1 cedi cut from fuel taxes. That's a big wow, especially in times like this that we're busy looking for money. Anyway. And then there's also armed robbers attack Brikum Chelsea. Team bus forward, Frimpong killed. And I see the areas that will be affected by ECG's planned maintenance on Monday, April 13, 2026. And then you also have the City Newsroom. Oguta directs traders to halt impulse duty payments over public and AI concerns. There's Moody's positive outlook signals improving investor confidence. Financial analyst IMF warns of global growth downgrade amid Middle East tensions. And there's finally Ghana Web says that Brekum Chelsea forward Dominic Frimpong dead after highway armed robbery attack. Sad. Now, GRA's modified taxation scheme, driving informal sector tax compliance and SME growth. It's a very interesting article by my very good friend Elsie Apau, who's a private legal practitioner herself. And you should check it out. It's a very well-written, well-researched article. There's organized labor to initiate talks with government on base pay and minimum wage adjustments. And there's, I don't drink, but I won't reduce Christianity to that debate. All right, so that's it for the newspaper and the online portal review. Please stay with us. I've told you that I have a very important guest who's with us this morning. Don't go anywhere. I'll tell you who the person is.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh.
Hey.
With your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Me chechi ya woni nara me din eje baby dapa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mo ama waduane e dapa na me de bremo eno any some spices dey emu wa ho bebre o various flavors ubenya eya akoko ubenya nyantwie yedigu jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya yedigu nkwan mu yedigu froye mu ho na kope bito na ema waduane enye de unyimi nia yenkoni konko tie nyankofo eka.
Download your communication to the all enjoy Oduba. That's Samu spices. One in the essence, no hi. I'm going to get that. Samu spices in a Sabi, Daddy so say. Samu spices. Mun Samu.
Samu spices. Nyama chicken.
Samu spices. Insaka in Ketwa, measure 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors of Odobebre.
Samu spices, yes, Saka.
FDIJ Jadian Kratoyatum. Rush, 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 young kids. Rush, 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 2 times a day. Rush like
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit's Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Hey, Unia, new release in Yana. Kaya gum.
A bitino was me new release. Me can no access fitamu hono. And na Turbotech Garages Limited. Aquafa besia mana aye nitia. Obiasa ya car no.
Accident car no na. Turbotech Garages Limited. Amana say jina ne naso sano.
Mesi wo. Wo mo akwafa broni fita engineer efra brochiraba. And wo check cars no. Na wo hunu ba bia fault krowo. And ho spare parts so wo de hye. Afenesi road. And so ho charges kakra bi o.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Wo ye general servicing. Ebini engine overhauling, engine tuning, cleaning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BMU, upholstery, gearbox, make a day.
Tabutech Garages Limited.
Apart from sir, car that wotimi ato, and now Toma Wono, was sign importation of cars and horse purpose. If Rabutreba, Wokoto Kamawa, a free.
Ace, also what you calling?
Tabutech Garages Limited, our La Paz Malam Road, after Bayard traffic light. Wah. Bibiania for 0206 48 17 and 3 and now 0542 96 11 11. Website tabletechghana.com.
Tabletech Garages Limited.
Hey, Kaya will be a Benyani.
Tabletech Garages Limited.
Your car beauty and the power boosters.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, and Maniswing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, and will beg you.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Looking for the ultimate oil city getaway? Welcome to the Groove Ethipon Beach Resort, where luxury meets adventure. Host your meetings and events in our fully equipped conference facility. Relax our sparkling pool, unwind in cozy rooms, satisfy your cravings at our scenic restaurant, and enjoy fun-packed recreational activities and a walk through our charming menus. Whether it's business, pleasure, or pure escape, the Groove is your perfect destination.
Hey, Bunty, why you there? What lie tell I today go give me my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba unze me dinner and baby. Scan on ASA. 500 cedis per. Ah.
Hey, I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry, Manua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres Ghana dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with one chat.
Visit the WannaOwn website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the home page and then select one shot game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cedis.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi.
Boom!
You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
All right, you are watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM. That's on your radio dial. And I told you that we have a very, very important guest who will be joining us this morning. And it's all about Ghana Revenue Authority and what they do for us, how they do it, and what are some of the what have been some of the success stories that they want to share with us and how they intend to improve going forward. And also, I'm sure that if you've been monitoring the news, there have been some concerns that have been raised by some stakeholders about the introduction of a new technology. And this new technology is called, is an AI, it's called Publican. And some stakeholders are raising some concerns about it. They want it reviewed, etc., etc. He will address all of that for us this morning. So the man I'm talking about is the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. I'm talking about Anthony Kwesi Sapong. He's our guest on the Good Morning Ghana show. He'll be with us for the next 40 minutes, and then our regular guest will be joining us to kickstart our review of the newspaper and the online portal stories. Mr. Anthony Kwesi Sapong, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Good morning, my brother, and good morning to your listeners.
It's a pleasure to have you join us on Good Morning Ghana. This is actually your first time, I believe,
this is actually
on Good Morning
first,
Ghana.
So it must be in the history books.
Well, this is where the real thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating conversation takes place. I mean, the caliber of people who will watch us, I'm sure are the very people you want to speak to, because these are called the key decision makers in our society. Now, I think that for us to be able to put our conversation in its proper perspective, we need to first of all understand, when we say Ghana Revenue Authority, who are you? What is your mandate, and how do you go about achieving that mandate?
Thank you very much for having us, particularly myself from Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yeah.
So every nation, as we all know, needs to develop. And to develop, you need funding. Funding can come from so many sources, but one of the key funding for national development is raising revenue domestically through taxation. So in Ghana, by law, Ghana Revenue Authority is the institution that is mandated to raise taxes to support government agenda. And we do so from 3 broad areas. If I started that way, one is what we call import duties. When people are bringing in goods into the country, there are certain taxes on them which we refer to as import duties. The second one is VAT, which is taxation on consumption. As we buy and consume tangible items and services, we pay a certain taxes on them. And the third one, broad category, is the income on profits, or taxes on income and profits. And the last two, VAT and taxes on income and profit, refer to them as domestic, and then the import one refer to them as customs duty. So these are the 3 broad areas as GRA. We provide what we call the blood for the nation. Without the money, without the revenue, the nation cannot move forward.
So the Finance Ministry says the targets for you in terms of how much it expects you to collect, isn't it?
Actually, yes. So if you look at how the Finance Ministry works, it controls both revenue and expenditure. Right. And we as GRA is one of the arms under the ministry. So the ministry annually sets a target for us to work on, so that we can then, the minister can then also fund government expenditure based on those revenues.
Now, what's the target for you this year?
So 2026, our target is 225 billion. So that's a target that has been set for us.
Is it achievable?
Certainly it's an ambitious one, but we certainly have to strive towards it. And it's so important that raising this revenue domestically is key, because if you look at the past few years globally, certain key countries that supported us with what we call donor funding withdrew. For instance, the USA withdrew. The British government also signaled that it's going on a downhill over the next 5 years, which means that we have to ensure that we fund the money ourselves and within. And therefore, we are working with the ministry to make sure that we also scale up in terms of revenue that we can have. And we also know that the past few years, borrowing actually put us in a very difficult situation. So you either borrow, or you get donor funding, or raise the money from taxation. And if the first two, which is borrowing and donor funding, has a challenge, then obviously it becomes critical that we block necessary loopholes, become more efficient, productive. And particularly this government has also signaled that it's not introducing new taxes. So your best bet is to become efficient, effective, and productive in raising revenue from the existing taxes.
Now, what have you done to broaden the tax base?
Thank you very much. So that's a very important question, particularly from the context that I've provided that we need to focus on that. So the first one is what we call the reforms in our legal. So most of our tax laws have been over 10 years. So last year we worked on the VAT reforms, a major one, that actually reduced the VAT rate from 21.9 to 20%. We abolished what we call the COVID levy from the VAT. We also removed what we call cascading effect. So the cascading effect meant that any time an institution or individual buys an item, there's a 6% in the rate, which was cost to the business. We couldn't get a refund from government. We have removed that. So that also allowed businesses to reduce their costs and to make profit. And also fundamental to change the threshold. If you were trading a small business and you had 200,000 as your annual turnover, the law then said you don't have to charge VAT. You have to increase this threshold to 750 to allow our small businesses to have sufficient time to grow and not bother them with so much complexity of VAT accounting. So all of these measures meant that government is losing some money, estimate about 6.5 billion from these changes, which will actually translate into pockets of individuals and businesses. However, we believe that those reforms in itself, when we implement them well, eventually will bring revenue into government. Then, of course, on the domestic side, one of the key measures, I'll just mention about two of them. One of the key measures is online e-commerce. We've seen a lot of traffic on cross-border transactions where people sit in Ghana and buy from the UK, from China, from US. If you move into a physical shop in Accra or Ghana, you pay VAT when you go. But when you buy online, you just put in your payment and you go. So it means that increasingly, as we have more of the population buy online, that will mean that VAT on online payments was going to suffer. So we are at the moment piloting a system called Sentinel. And it's interesting, the data that we are seeing is that in 1 year alone, government is losing over 2.2 billion from online purchases. We believe that this system will be coming on around from the middle of the year. So as you buy online, similar as you buy into a brick and mortar in Ghana, the system will intervene and you pay your VAT. So that one of the key things in taxation is parity. If I buy locally, I pay VAT. If I also buy online, I pay VAT. We've not been doing that, so that is also coming on.
All right. I want us to get to brass tacks. Now, there's this whole talk about a setting artificial intelligence system that you've put in place. It's called the AI Publican. We have heard some freight forwarders who have expressed some concerns. Good time. In fact, just as today, we were reading in the papers and some online portals that the Traders Advocacy Group have announced some nationwide strike scheduled for Monday, which is today, in protest against the implementation of this public and AI customs valuation system at the Ghana ports. We've also heard from freight forwarders who have also expressed some concerns about this new technology that you are seeking to introduce. What is this AI Publican, and what are you seeking to achieve with it?
Yeah. So part of the broader reforms we are doing, as I've mentioned in the other areas, is also to reform our revenue mobilization in the customs area. So over the years, there's always been a customs mobilization or the import duty. There are certain key factors that if they are not managed, they put government revenue at risk. And over the years, we've tried several methods, but those methods have been very human dependent and very discretionary. So it allows individuals to be able to take advantage of, and government is the loser. And when government loses, it is me, it is you, it is all of us collectively losing the revenue. And there are three areas that I would like to mention. One is country of origin. Where the goods, a country where the goods are coming from is an important element in the determination of the taxes because of the freight. So if I have a shorter distance, I pay a lower freight. If I have a longer distance, I pay more rate. So if I bring in the goods and tell you that it's from China, but I tell you it's coming from Egypt, for example, I'm able to change the taxes I pay. The second one is also what we call classification in customs operations. And globally, every product that is made in the world, there's a unique code that is given to it. If you change the unit code, you may then pay different taxes on it. So we've seen over the years that because of volumes and complexity of transactions, officers are not able to accurately even identify all the classifications. So there's major misclassifications that we were seeing. And the third one is values. Customs runs on the values that you purchase should form the basis of taxation. But the question is, how do you assess and determine that this is actually a trader goes outside and bring that indeed this is what they actually paid for? So these three areas over the years, we've used human intervention and certain tools. You can remember things like benchmark rules. Those are not specific, but as a guide. A reference price list as a guide. But they were all human dependent and they were very selective in terms of dealing with it. So in this modern era, we then have what we call the AI, in this particular case, called the publican. So the publican is actually a classification and valuation customs vetting tool. So when you make your declarations, it vets your classifications, it vets the values that you have provided, particularly going to a global database and say, this is the price that this product generally within a certain range is purchased. So when an importer presents it, we can say, okay, you are within or you are outside. It also is able to tell us the country of origin. If you say you are from China, it will vet and say, indeed, the supply you purchase from actually is in China, they deal in that product, and so on and so forth. So basically, it's a classification and valuation vetting tool. One, to assist custom officers in making the decisions, because these decisions are done by custom officers. Number two is to provide us with an efficient way of gathering this information so custom officers can make the decisions. And finally, it's also to stress that the tool doesn't make the decision is made by the custom officer ultimately in the process.
Now, I've heard some of the freight forwarders say that the World Customs, the World Customs Organization.
Yeah, World Customs Organization.
Also World Trade Organization rules of which we are members. The determination of the value that you're supposed to pay on a product must be dependent on the there's a term,
the price that you have paid for. Yes.
But the AI system that you currently have sort of determines its own value on the product, and it does so indiscriminately. And it gives an example that if I bought, say, this chair that you're sitting on, say from China, and the chair costs, say, $100, this AI system, instead of using the $100 in assessing the value of what you ought to pay by way of your duties, it can decide to take its own price from somewhere. It could be anywhere, and uses that as a basis to slap the duties on the value of the product. And so you can have a situation where, even though it's $100 for this chair, AI can say it must cost, say, $200. And yet you cannot fight it. You cannot challenge it, because this is what the AI says. Remember that what the AI generates is what the customs officers are going to base their decisions on. How true is this? Is this possible?
So actually, I think this is one of the areas we continue to educate. I call them partners in development, because the trades must go on, and at the same time, government must get its taxes. So it is true that part of our laws and part of the WCO rules that you must have the transaction price as part of the basis of doing the tax determination. But the way our laws works is that it is the importer that tells the government the price at which they have bought an item. But we must remember that government also has an interest. If that price self-declared by the importer is lower than what the actual is, government loses. So government must also have a way to verify and vet that when an importer says, in this example, the chair that you gave, that I bought the chair for 100 Ghana cedis, indeed it's 100 Ghana cedis. And that ensures that there's equity there's transparency, and there's parity for both government and then the importer. So over the years, we've relied on the importers and we use different mechanisms. What the AI does is not arbitrarily as is being claimed. The AI actually looks at the declaration by the importer. First, the importer says, I bought it from China. So the AI will vet that this chair was bought from China. Then the second one, the price 100, the AI will check through similar type of chairs that have been sold from the particular supplier where the importer bought it from, as well as similar type of chairs that is in China, and determine, okay, what is the lowest price that somebody has ever bought this chair for, and what is the highest price this somebody has ever bought it for, and now compares what the 100 Ghana cedis the importer mentioned. So in this case, let's assume the AI goes to the database in China, finds the chair and say, okay, the lowest price I've ever seen this chair being bought for is 50 Ghana cedis, but the highest is 150. So the AI doesn't come and say this chair is 50 or 100. Say, I've seen lowest is 50, highest is 50. In this particular example, once you quoted 100, the AI will pass you, because if somebody has bought a 50 before, you are even above it. The area that the AI will challenge is somebody came and said, for the same chair, I bought it for 20 Ghana cedis. Then the AI will caution the officer and say, well, when I look at the database in China and also globally for this type of chair, I've never seen anybody buying it for 20 Ghana. The lowest I've seen is 50. The highest I've seen is 150. So call the importer to bring more information as to why they got it 20. Because of course it's trade. So we recognize that maybe in a particular case they went and had a very good deal. So this is where we now, as the importer, provide evidence that demonstrate that you actually bought this at 20. And those evidence can mean your negotiations, your contract, or even monies that you've transferred outside the country to pay for how much you bought the chairs. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get the value right, government loses. So again, that is where we are saying that it's not indiscriminate, it's actual and it's real, because it goes to the export database of the country where the item is coming from. And we all know that when shipments are being made, each country records the data of the items leaving, the price that have sold it and all that. So this is what the AI does. Prior to that, our officers will do it, but because of volume and human effort, they are not able to do it accurately. But in this case, the AI does it efficiently, quickly in 5 minutes, and provide the information to the officer.
It's not 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
What was it before?
Previously, it takes our officers not less than 2 hours.
2 hours?
When you submit, you see the officer has to look at the database of where it is coming from. First of all, even determine that it's from that country. Number two, find out what prices are being sold. So it's a lot of volumes of information that the human being will go through. So about 2 hours. But in this particular case, as soon as the importer says, this is my information, this is how much I bought it, the AI runs through all the information, historical, real-time, current, and in 5 minutes, generates a report for the officer. So this is the kind of efficiency that we are talking about to facilitate even the trade and
so then how then do you reconcile this efficiency and the fact that this is now being done at a shorter period? How do you reconcile this with what some of your stakeholders are saying now there's some delay at the port because of the introduction of AI, the AI publican?
Right. So again, we've heard about that one and we've gone into it. And clearly we are not seeing that there are delays in terms of the AI. But what actually happened at the very beginning was that when the AI shows differences in what the importers have declared, we ask the importers and show them the AI report and say, look at it again and self-correct. We then notice that the importers or their agents were not doing it, partly because in the past, custom officers assisted them, and therefore they've not learned the rudiments of doing the self-correction. So we've changed that process and say, customer officers, the same way you used to help them until the agents themselves learn out of it. So this has been dealt with. In fact, 2 weeks ago when we met them, we took the decision together and said customer officers are helping you as they used to do before. And that is going well. So I can confidently say that a few of those challenges that were there, we cleared all of them last week because we had to help them to do. But indeed, the use of the publican doesn't cause delay. If anything at all, it should facilitate information to the custom officers and the agents and imported as quickly as possible.
And even fast-track the process.
And fast-track the process.
Now, so this is not some kind of introduction of some kind of a new levy or taxes at the port, because again, we've had some of your stakeholders say it appears that there's been a surreptitious introduction of some new levy and it's shot up their prices because all of a sudden goods that they used to import, same value, same source, same everything, is now, they now have to pay more. And they're wondering what is accounting for the difference.
For that. Okay, so to be clear, I mean, and I keep on saying that in this country, we are guided by the laws of the country. No institution and no government agency can rise up one day and say, I'm imposing a tax, a levy, or a charge without parliamentary approval. And since we began this process and we even took this contract to Parliament, there's no shred of evidence that we added that Parliament should approve a charge, a tax or fee that will come to the use of this one. Because at the end of the day, we sat down and said, government is the losing end. And let me step back a bit. So when we took over last year, we did a 5-year study of our import data. And we noticed that close to over 83 billion USD have left the country. But 31 billion, we couldn't find how they accounted for in terms of value of goods coming to the country.
31 billion
USD.
US dollars.
US dollars. That people have used the import process to transfer money out, but there was no corresponding value of goods coming in.
What?
And the tax impact were in excess of 11 billion. So it's a massive point of leakage. So we sat down and asked ourselves, how do we strengthen the process such that one, even in terms of currency movement, is protected so that I have some stability. Number two, the revenue laws government was hemorrhaging. We can really bring it, eliminate it or reduce it. So we told ourselves that this is something in the interest for government. So we are not going to ask importers to pay. Government must invest to create the efficiency, to create to stop the leakages. So it is not true at all that we've asked anybody. And on this note, I just want to also encourage importers that if anybody asks them to say that government is charging them because we have introduced AI, they should ask them for a receipt, a proof of it, because there's none.
Yeah.
That is an important element to do. The second one is also we've seen that when their agents also ask them to pay because they say prices have gone up, they should ask for the receipts from the publican. Again, we also notice that some of these things is how cause differences. But clearly, government is not imposing any tax. Government is not charging any fee. Government is not imposing any levy in this respect.
Ahead of
and just to add that the past 2 months, we've seen that 75% of the declarations, publican agrees. So we are talking about a 25 component that publican flags that the values that are declared to government are suspicious and we must pay more attention to.
Okay.
So really, if you look at the large chunk of it, publican in 5 minutes, everything is fine. So that cannot be a cause of a delay.
Is it possible for publican to misclassify some goods?
So it's an AI and it's a learning machine.
Yes.
So of course, at the teething problems of any AI, there's what we call machine learning in every AI. When it comes to environment, we feed it with the data that we have, and it also begins to learn.
Okay.
So even if publican makes a mistake, officers correct it. You then realize that this never happens again. So we acknowledge that for every new machine learning environment, maybe 1 or 2 instances where things can go wrong. And that's why we've put in what we call an appeal process, which already existed before publican. So if you have an issue, even when officers were doing it, they could make a mistake. And in that case, there's an appeal for about 4 people who sit and look at it and correct it. That process, again, I want to assure our importers and agents that it existed before publican, it's still in place, and it's still working. Anytime custom officers have come to them and say, we want more information here, or they disagree or they are not comfortable, they should continue to use the process of we all know together as the appeal. They know it, customer officers know it, and we speedily resolve it for them.
What was the extent of the stakeholder engagement prior to the implementation of this new system?
Yes. So we actually use the month of January as the point of stakeholder engagement for the key groups that are impacted. One, we had the importers and agents together and explain to them how publican is going to work and how the publican reports will be used and how it's going to impact them. Then second, we also had other sister government agencies that we work with at the port. Because, for example, the publican is also able to flag, for example, if there's unwholesome food items or security items, publican flags, or there are banned drugs, publican flags. And these we work with either Food and Drugs Board, NACOP, or other agencies. So again, we had a session with them. And the third one was also a session with the media and reporters. But besides that, again, is continuous engagement with trade associations to explain to them and to let them also understand that it's a change process, but this change process actually brings parity. Everybody runs through the whole system. So previously, agents and officers may sit and negotiate as to agree. Now this time, publican runs through, so you remove that human discretion and you are bringing parity and same standard for all.
So before you go, that's my final question to you. The Traders Advocacy Group say they are on strike, and it starts today. They're protesting against the implementation of this, otherwise what should have been a very, very important and a very good system for Ghana. What do you have to tell them? Some of them are sure watching the show.
Thank you very much. It's so important. I always say, I see the trade groups as partners in development. So since we took over, we've had very amicable resolution to matters. But it's important to stress that since we started running publican, we are seeing on an average declarations, lower declarations of about 3 million USD a day. That translates to almost 1 billion Ghana cedis a month. So that tells us that the 25 group, that publican saying that there's something wrong, is a huge revenue leakage for the state. And that also means that some importers are benefiting while a wider 75% are not. That in itself creates market distortions because your own competitors, 25 group, are having a situation where they are declaring and they are not paying the right taxes. So they are advantageous than those who are paying. So from that score, we are appealing and asking our partners in development, the trade associations and the agents, that this is where we need to work together to ensure that if you all believe in parity, then let the same standard apply to all. If you all believe in equity, let the same standard apply to all. And we all believe in transparency, let the same standard apply to all. So for me, I'll call upon them that we've started the engagement, we have had fruitful discussions on other matters. This is also another area that we are asking them to work with us, GRA, to work with government, so that we join to look at the challenges and resolve together. We are prepared to sit with them. We have already invited them and we are working with them. We are not going to stop that commitment. So we believe that if we work together on this, we will bring sanity into the system. Government revenue will be protected. Business truly will also be protected because everyone will pay the appropriate duties and the market will also be protected.
Businessman Alhaji Al-Hassan Osman, he's also called Gbagno.
Right.
He has an office around the Asylum down area. He says I should say hello to you and that you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. Yes. Good morning, my brother.
All right. Say, I want to say a very, very big thanks to you for joining us this morning. And it's been a very brief interaction, but very informative because there's a lot of information which was out there and not many people were well informed to understand what exactly was going on, especially with this AI introduction of this AI publican system. So I want to say a very, very big thanks to you and one of your hardworking assistants, also a very good friend of mine. She's almost like a sister, Madame Elsie Apau. Yes.
Very formidable technical assistant.
Yes, except that she dogged me small, but that one is whole matter.
Take care of your brother.
Whole matter will resolve it. Yes. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to work with you. Look forward to work with the trade associations and agents to make sure that we resolve their issues ultimately to raise revenue so that we can support the president to develop this nation.
All right, thank you. Thank you so very much for your time. It's wonderful having you join us on the show today. Have a good day, sir. Thank you. That's Anthony Kwesi Sapon. He's the Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners, our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Sasso spray, Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tom preko.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the blessing vibe. Oh yeah, come on.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, Bunty, why you there? Wallahi, today go give me my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba unze me dinner dede baby. Scan on ASA.
500 cedis per.
Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But show me the way.
But there's some sorry, Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with one chat.
Visit the WannaOwn website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select One Shot Game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cities.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi. A boom. You need too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government land, they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will...
All right, so you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. So you just saw that video from the MP for Gomoa. I believe it's Gomoa East, I believe. Yes, that's the man we called A+. He has been making some very, very interesting revelations, and revelations based on the Operation Recover or Loot, which was a project started by the NDC in opposition. Now, he was granting an interview on Joy Prime, and in that interview, he talks about the fact that Oral is dead on arrival because there are some government officials or government appointees who, after 1 year and a few months, have started grabbing lands and putting up all kinds of property. Now, one would have expected that in that A+, being who he is, probably should have approached Yoko and some of the state institutions and then basically submit or provide better and further particulars so that these persons who have grabbed lands and properties since the assumption or since the NDC came to power would be invited for some questioning. But he kept quiet and rather said Oral is dead because some persons have started acquiring property. And I thought that it really wasn't the best. I mean, if you really care about Ghana and you believe and you have evidence that some people are grabbing lands illegitimately or undeservedly or grabbing property undeservedly, you ought to let us know who these persons are. You see, because oral is not for one political party. Oral is for everybody. If you grab it, if you grab a state assets, you know, if you grab state assets undeservedly, or you basically grab a state asset, because you're not supposed to be grabbing a state assets, you ought to be called to book. So I'm not sure if A+'s approach to this matter is right, but he said it. I think they want us to watch this video again. Please, Brian, let's play this video again. I want to start the show today in a pretty unconventional way. It's not in the newspapers. I want us to start with this before we get into what the newspapers are talking about. So let's watch this video again.
One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government and they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government and they are finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ora again. Ora is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document.
You release everybody's land documents. I mean, must you be angry to release this land documents? You ought to release the land documents when you're not angry, because you're supposed to be a citizen vigilante. You've been somebody who's at the forefront of fighting injustice and fighting corruption and so on and so forth. And so if you know government appointees who have grabbed state lands or state property in the last 1 year and some 4 months or so, what are you waiting for? Just submit the document or submit the information to the appropriate quarters for them to deal with it. You can give it to the media. We'll talk about it. We'll put it up here on Good Morning Ghana. But you just talked about it and say, when you are angry, must you be angry before you do what you're supposed to do as a citizen vigilante? I don't understand you, plus you're a very good friend of mine. And I don't think that you've been very helpful in the way you've gone about this. But let me say that our guests are here. Dr. Hayford Yeboah is with the School of Communications, Wisconsin University College, is here with us. Doc, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. And, you know, Mondays, what we've done is that we're giving the platform to voices that are typically not heard here on the show. So people who are not necessarily partisan or political per se. We give them. So civil society organizations and people from the academia are given the platforms on Monday to talk. It's not going to be a regular feature, but you know, from time to time we'll do that. Sometimes, depending on what the issues are, we may bring the usual suspect, NDP and DC, to talk about it. Yeah, but the default, you know, arrangement is that you're going to have people from CSOs or the academia. It could even be media, it could be, you know, CSOs, media people are part of CSOs. And also Dr. Jonathan Asanchotri is a political analyst, a senior lecturer, University of Cape Coast, and also executive director, African Institute of Strategic Studies. He's also here with us. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana.
Umaru, you left one of my portfolios. Executive Director, Migration Web Africa.
Really?
Yes.
Executive Director?
Migration Web Africa.
Migration?
Focus on migration policies and then issues about migrants.
Really? Yeah. It's Migration Web Africa. Web as in W-E-B?
Yes, in Tinta.
That's an interesting, you know, name. But how long have you been in existence?
Since 2017.
Oh, since 2017. Yeah. Maybe you're not loud enough because I'm hearing of you for the first time.
Even issued a statement. I think a couple of weeks ago. And your media network.
Really?
You know,
discussed it?
Yes, the broadcast. The discussion I did.
Wow. Wow. All right. So I want us to first of all look at this topic, and it's about our own very good friend. He's been in the showbiz industry for a very long time, now turned a hardcore politician. I'm talking about the man A+, and he has made some revelations, and it's called Kwame Asari-Obeng, popularly known as A+. He's made some very interesting revelations, and I want us to talk about it briefly before we move to our next topic. Let me start with you, Dr. Hayford. What do you make of what A+ has said? He said it's just been 1 year, 4 months. There are some government appointees that he knows, and in fact, he says he has the documents to prove that these appointees have grabbed state lands. And if he gets angry, if he becomes upset, he will tell all of us who these people are. I don't know what you make of what A+ has said.
Yeah. So first of all, good morning to our cherished viewers out there, and also I want to thank the producers and your good self for this opportunity. Yeah, so we all know A+, very outspoken, and politically minded and conscious person. And so some of his utterances, indeed, we are not surprised, when he burst into such areas. Okay, we all understand his reactions during the SY administration, and he also raised some of the similar concern about what was going on at the time. Okay, whether or not those were true is another matter that we can subject it to discussion someday. Okay, yeah. So his claims, I have chanced on that soundbite too on the social media, and I see it's a reflection of the grave concern that we have about corruption. Okay, so every one of us is very much concerned about corruption, particularly with public officials. When they come to power, within a short period of time, we see them, in terms of material possession, there's a wide variation positively, and become suspicious. Okay. Yeah, so the question you asked is that if he knows much about this, should I call it nefarious act, why doesn't he go forward and then maybe secretly, tip off the police about it, and then prosecutions can, start.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it has to start from somewhere. A noise should be dropped at the center of the river, okay, in the form of a stone to send a ripple effect. What he has said, I may share in your consent to that he should have done that. But it is also not misplaced for him to have gone that way. Because perhaps he's not even a part of government, a member of government. He's an independent, member of parliament. And for such a person, he may want to choose, or decide how he, tips off such important information. So he has gone, that direction. But just as it happens in other jurisdictions, when there is such rumor, what happens? I think this video has been in the social media landscape for, I think more than a week now.
It's been trending in the last 5 days.
And I think it was post
also
his Easter.
Yes, his one Easter festival.
I think all within.
Yes,
during
it was after.
After.
In fact, the interview was to basically take a stock of what it did during the Easter festivities.
And we are now in the 13th of 13th day of April.
Yeah.
And there's no reaction.
What kind of reaction did you expect? That somebody invites him for questioning?
Yeah, so the police.
Okay.
The police. In fact, it shouldn't take. Yes, it should not take the what we call it, the media, to do some of this surveillance. I mean, individuals, we can do that by just blowing the whistle loud to send a signal to the people that, look, we know what you guys are doing over there, so you better be careful. Okay. Yeah, so for me, the police should react. You hear some of these rumors, on air, on social media, and we treat it with a pinch of salt.
No, but look, does acquiring a state property, I don't want to, is it strictly speaking a crime?
No,
which is prosecutable.
It is not a crime. I don't support that. But what it means.
Which much will be a tomb because they bought a state property.
So
that's the point I'm trying to make.
So the positions of these officials is what is very much concerned to him. That these people are in government.
Yes.
and we know how much they are being paid
Yes.
as government functionaries.
So that's more of a moral issue.
It's
than a criminal issue, isn't it?
Well, so the question is, how much do they benefit as public officials? So if we know how much they benefit, just like you and I do benefit from our own quarters, and within this short period, as he says, can do the costing of those material possessions, within their means of income, afford these costings? That is a very important question that we need to ask. Okay, that is within a short time. What has happened? Where are these people working? And how much are they paid? Within the month. So it is a legitimate, concern, and we can't let it slide. We need to call him to help with investigation.
I get that, but look, T, what I'm trying to say is this: that this is not an ordinary member of our society. He's a member of a very, in fact, some people can even argue that the legislature is the most perhaps important arm of government. In fact, some people have argued, so you can disagree with them, but that's fine.
Because of the laws they make.
Thank you. Now, if you are a member of parliament and you are privy, okay, or you have in your possession the list of government appointees or names of government appointees who have acquired state property in the last 1 year, 4 months or so, and you're saying that because of that information that you have, okay, it renders the whole idea of Operation Recover or Loot a useless venture. Now, what I don't know is how long he's been in possession of this information, right? And I'm assuming that what he's saying is true, because I don't have any basis to doubt what he's saying, because I don't know A+ to be a liar. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're in possession of this information, what have you done with this information as part of your civic responsibility? Because you believe that the acquisition, I'm sure per his knowledge and understanding, was not done through the proper legal procedure. Because if it's done through the proper legal procedure, then there's no crime.
Yeah.
You can raise issues about morality, you can raise issues about what you said in the past, and why are you repeating the same thing? When Ablakwa and his team, Martin Kpebu, COP Kofi Boachenko were going around, they didn't say people had committed a criminal offense per se. They were raising moral issues. That how can you, as a Ghanaian, go around and buy state? If everybody was buying state property, there would be nothing left. There was the arguments at the time was sound. Okay, now you are a member of parliament, you are privy to this information, but it had to take a journalist to interview you about what you had done during the Easter holidays in your constituency. And by the way, congratulations to him. He's done a fantastic job. He for me, he's become a game changer when it comes to the politics and how we do our politics. Fantastic guy. I mean, it's not personal, but I'm just saying that as a matter of principle, if you have this information, why don't you submit that information to the appropriate quarters? There's even a special prosecutor.
There are a lot of people with,
Because the special prosecutor has a responsibility to do what is called lifestyle audit.
That's true.
You are earning this amount of money, and yet you've been able to acquire X, Y, Z. How did you acquire it? Legitimate question.
So.
But one can't. So somebody interviews, and you know what? He's even saying that he is only going to share further and better particulars when somebody angers him.
So his
you don't think something is wrong with that?
Yes. So his actions are reflection of, like they say, information is your weapon.
Yes.
So he's been chronicling. And,
What is the what do you want to achieve, right? By keeping that information close to your chest. Why?
Yeah. So from political communication perspective, people do keep information, sensitive information, for special reasons.
Look, Honorable.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
But he wants to hold on to such information for his personal interest.
The chief of staff is A+'s friend. The president is a friend to A+. My point is that A+ is somebody who is very well connected. He knows everybody, almost everybody. They're high and mighty in society. He knows them, right? And he'll tell you that he actually leverages on his relationship with the high and mighty in society. In fact, in that same interview, if you listened, he talks about the fact that if he has to blackmail you to get money to go and do what he needs to do, you do that. Of course, he doesn't talk blackmail in a negative sense. But he says that if he has to tell you that, look, I don't know what he means, but he said it's not in a negative sense. Now, my point is that if you have this information, look, one of the reasons why the NEC came to power was on the back of oral.
Yeah.
Because when Blackwell and his team were going around, they had said that people were looting the state. Now, I'm saying that if A+ has every information or has all the information that suggests that some other people under this government are looting the state, what is he waiting for?
You see, the oral itself, has certain issues that we need to, settle.
You have a problem with oral?
Not a problem.
Okay.
Even the members, the constituents, of the oral, committee, some of them were they were on high horses, at the time, telling us what really was going on in terms of corruption in the SYL administration, and that when they come, they're going to prosecute people, such people, some of them, I think, should not have been part of even the committee. They should have aided investigation because it appears they even had those, intel, about the wrongs, the ills in the SYL administration. So they will have to assist. So, but where they have to even, be on that same committee and having also, shouted on top of rooftops about whatever the SYL administration had as ills and corrupt, deeds and all that. I see a little bit of conflict of interest because those things were pushed there for, electoral advantage. Yeah, and so these same people. The question I want to ask is that what has become of these oral committee? What has become of it? How many people have been prosecuted? Who and who? Those ones who were mentioned, the names that were mentioned. What are their charges now? We want to know. The citizens want to know because they won that landslide based on some of these claims that they made on air. All right. So I have a problem with they even being, some of them, being the whistleblowers and they themselves also being part of the committee.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, so to tie that into that of A+ issue, I want to say that A+ is trying to say that, look, governance is not about explanation, governance is about responsibility, and responsibility that, serves the interest of the citizen and not some particular people feel within the community.
Let's watch the video again, and I can get Dr. Jonathan Otri to share his perspective on this matter. Bright, let's watch the video again.
Because they are poor. The real crime. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government and they have finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ura again. Ura is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will release everybody's land document. One of the reasons why people are in prison in this country is because they are poor. The real crime is poverty. I know people in this government that they came here, they bought government and they have finished buildings. I know all of them. I know all of them. So nobody should talk about Ura again. Ura is collapsed. We have collapsed it. One day when I get angry, I will...
So that's Kwame Asario being AKA A+. He's the MP for Goma Central. He says that in just 1 year, 4 months, he knows government appointees who have bought state property or government lands and they put up a house. In fact, he said in some cases houses. And I'm just asking a question, that why has he kept quiet all this while? Why hasn't he made the information known to the appropriate quarters? There's a special prosecutor. You can take this matter up with Yoko, etc. Why has he kept this matter to himself? In fact, he says he intends to keep this information to himself, or the further and better particulars of this to himself, for as long as he is not angry. Doc, oral is dead, according to MP for Goma Central, because the very things that the NDC complained about in the past, according to the MP, is repeating itself now after 1 year, 4 months. What do you make of what he has said?
Well, I will start by saying good morning to your good self, my colleague, and our viewers. Sometimes I wonder if Mr. Kwame Asarobin still sees himself as a member of parliament, or is still in the entertainment business. I think it is grossly irresponsible on his part to make such wild allegations without especially going to the appropriate authority. As it were, if you know that your source is good, you should go to the appropriate authority. You can even be a whistleblower, or you can even file a question, right, in Parliament to elicit the right answers and responses, especially with respect to land. Maybe Lands and Forestry Minister should be able to, provide answers and responses to that. If you really want to reveal those who have acquired, he can also equally go ahead and do so that nobody should rather get him angry before he brings them out. I think that is irresponsible on his part. Secondly, don't forget that this government decided to bring a tighter reform with respect to land. And if you read the document, what it intends to do is to ensure stricter control. And government plans to pass a bill regulating the disposal of state assets, specifically targeting the cheap sale of government lands. And cheap sale of government lands was one of the issues under oral. And oral, trumpeted that. And if you listen to the issues that came out, then obviously there was the need for the state to tighten its land security. And so as part of the component of the bill, a new payment structure. You remember some years back, how ridiculous some of the prices, including the late chairman of the NPP, Mr. Obichebilamte.
Yes.
That some land issue building became another issue altogether. So this particular thing has traversed, both governments, right? Especially the two main political parties that have, gained power in this country. It has traversed them. And so they are equally guilty. But today you have a new government that says that a new payment structure, right, as part of the bill, will require a 70% upfront payment of the assessed market value, with the remaining 30% spread over the lease tenure as ground rent. But equally important is that there is a ban. In all of this, there is what? A ban on the purchase of state land. And if you look at the current information, it is still what? There, as of March, this particular year, there is a ban. So I don't know when these so-called state lands might have been acquired outside this ban. And I think that if that is the case, then the president, through the minister, will have to crack the whip. So maybe we can treat what he has said as whistleblowing. And then it could be a material for others to do proper investigation and come out with the falsity or the truism of the things that he's put out there. But you see, sometimes some of these things, they tend to let you go on a wild goose chase, right? Where do you start from? Which names have been mentioned? Are you just going to interrogate issues that do not really bother you, right? Are you just going to do nitpicking? We need further and better particulars, rather than sending us on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, but Doc, whether it is, you see, for us to be able to determine whether this is a wild goose chase or not, somebody within this government should have at least extended an invitation to Kwame Asare-Obeng, and to say that, look, we don't have any basis to think or suspect that you are embarking on some frivolous allegation. So please come and bring us some more information on this allegation we have made, because we do not want to countenance this. Now, as you and I speak, or we're sitting here this very minute, we're not aware of any such invitation. And if there's anybody out there who knows that Kwame A+ has been invited for any kind of interrogation or any kind of interaction, the person should let us know. But at least we do not have that information. So I think that, yes, Kwame A+ did the wrong thing by just coming out to speak publicly without even giving us further and better particulars. But more so worrying is the fact that nobody in this government has said, A+, come, you have made these allegations. Can we look at the documents, and then we can call these people and ask them questions? Okay, so we have evidence that you put up 5 houses at, say, Chadu, or you put up 3 houses at, say, East Legon, or Cantonment, or Airport Hills, wherever it is. Tell me how you were able to put these houses up. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, for a party that rode on the back of Operation Recover or Loot, and we saw all the things that happened. And I'm saying that this is not A+, the musician, or A+, the social commentator. This is A+, the politician cum MP. You can't take his words with a pinch of salt. Let's even assume that in the past, when he spoke, nobody took him seriously. But he's not an MP. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He's getting information.
Majority leader. He's caucusing with the majority in parliament. Yes. With the other independent MPs. He's caucusing with them. So majority leader, have you even once asked A+ that, look, for as long as you remain a member of our caucus, you have raised very, very critical issues. Come and let's talk about it. I don't know whether Ayariga has done that. I don't know whether all the other persons, duty bearers who are supposed to be fighting corruption, and here we're talking moral corruption in our society, whether anybody has even extended an invitation to him. And that for me is even more worrying. And look, a very good friend of mine who is a regular viewer of the show has just sent me this information. I want you to just listen to what he said. He said, look, Moro, what is baffling is that this is not the first time A+ has made allegations against the office of the Attorney General, yet nothing has been done to him. He says, in April 2025, he accused the Attorney General of taking a bribe of 500. Okay, this one isn't even about the Attorney General. I'm talking about the general comment he's made. Okay, no problem. But I think he's building a point. So he says, he accused the Attorney General of taking a bribe of 500,000 and even called him a thief. Absolutely nothing was done. Later, the Attorney General came out to say, A+ case remains under active investigation. A trial will commence should an amicable resolution not be achieved. Today, he has made another sweeping allegation against the same office. Why is A+ always left off the hook? What is it that we don't know? And it's a very legitimate question that he makes all these allegations and nobody's asking him any questions. Why?
Sometimes I don't know whether he's an attention seeker. I think he's seen not to understand the fact that he's wearing a different cloak now. He's no longer that entertainment person.
I get the point you're making, Doc. I get the point you're making.
So when you see, such curious allegations...
No, you see, Doc, if we personalize it, i.e. what we know about A+ and so on and so forth, then we won't make progress with them. I'm saying that whether it is A+ or whoever makes these allegations, once the person is a significant member of us, I mean, there are some people, if they make these allegations, you can let go. Because these are not people who majority of Ghanaians take seriously anyway. But I'm saying that if the person has some visibility, the person is a significant member of our society, okay, whatever significant means for anybody. Once the person makes these allegations, somebody must take that matter up and take it seriously. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I couldn't agree.
I mean, who he is, that one is another matter. That's a conversation we can have another day.
I agree.
But somebody must take what he says
in
seriously.
actual fact, your position is that some duty bearers are sleeping on the job.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That is exactly the conclusion.
Yes.
Some duty bearers are sleeping on the job. You see, at the end of the day, such allegations tend to indict the integrity of the entire government.
Thank you.
It goes as far back as to the president, because he is the leader of government. The vice president, ministers, everybody else appear indicted. Because if you do not have duty bearers investigating, calling, asking, right, for further and better particulars, then it means that you think that, well, let us leave it, the issue will die naturally. No, it will still be in the public domain, and it will be part of the buffet that the opposition will use against you when the need arises. So there is the need for that investigation to be done. And I think that, as you said, I agree with you, it should be called, right? I don't want to think that when he's called to come and substantiate that, he may decide to decline. If he does, then maybe, whatever measures that they will have to use against him, they will have to do that. If it is a matter of being hauled before the Privileges Committee, they can go ahead and do so. Okay. I don't think that it has gotten to that point. The point is that you've not even had, right, the audacity to call him so that he comes to substantiate or give you the information that he has. So that those who are into that, right, will be brought to book. Right. I don't think anybody can equally suggest that this person or those people that have bought state lands are guilty. And then you can't also assume that before somebody came into government, that person was doing nothing. For which reason, suddenly, right? So, as you said, lifestyle audit, which is part of the mandate of the OSP, probably, if it gets to him, all right, in terms of corruption, he can equally do some good job in that particular area. Right. But I think that, as you said, he is an MP now, is occupying a significant position, right, in the body politics of today. And so if you make such, what they call allegations, I think that there's some duty bearers, either Yoko, either the majority leader, the Attorney General, the OSP, I think that some of these individuals occupying these offices will have to be interested in things of that nature, especially coming from a member of parliament, not just as A+, former entertainment, showbiz personality, no. Okay.
I want to read this this message from, he's called Ken. Now, Ken sends a message and he says that, why are you all pretending you didn't know that this so-called aura was a compendium, sorry for that. A compendium of useless information, more false accusations and senseless propaganda put together to deceive the people of Ghana. And he says that they promised to recover non-existent loot and had to gather chaff. Domelevo confirmed to make it look as if they had delivered on their promise of recovering the alleged loot. Those waiting for the shambolic $22 billion shall wait till Jesus arrives. That's coming from Ken in Accra. Now, this one again from Nee in Accra. Nee in Accra says, let me just finish it. Nee in Accra says, in January 2025, President John Dramani Mahama issued a directive for Lands Commission to seize all transactions involving the sale, lease, or processing of state and public lands. The directive was signed by Dr. Kalisus Mahama, Secretary to the President, instructing the Lands Commission to halt all ongoing transactions concerning state lands. Now, A+ is saying, despite this instruction, he is alleging that he knows government officials who have acquired these same government lands and has gone further to finish building on it at the blind side of the president. This is very, very serious. This is Nee from Accra. Now, Reverend Samuel J says, good morning, Moro. I do agree with you that A+ could have done better for reporting those politicians to appropriate quarters and bring them to book. I really like A+ because he's among those who have the nation at heart. But Moro, I have a strong belief that if oral is dead, it will be resurrected at appropriate time. Have a nice day. That's coming from Reverend AJ, who is with the PNC. All right.
So just a little, probably because of the first texter.
Okay.
You see, and Mr. Kwame has obeying himself, and probably my colleague. People ought to, avert themselves to the state, right, of cases. You see, under oral, is oral dead? Oral in itself is no longer in existence, right? Yeah. The cases have been reported. They've pruned them down. Those that are prosecutable, they are still doing that. Over 280-something cases. And if you look at cases that are of importance, they are prosecuting them. You can say oral is dead because you've not seen conviction. But you have important cases in court. The ambulance is an important case. The National Cathedral is under it. I'm told PDS, even this land grabbing, right? Ghost names investigated, and what's it called? National Service scandal and all those ones.
Yeah.
You know, SML, they are all important cases, you know, that were outlined as part of the oral stuff.
Okay.
But now it is the business of the Attorney General, right? So if the Attorney General is slow, probably you must equally not blame the Attorney General, but also our justice system, right?
Okay.
The justice system is also part of the blame. Other than that, you know, people would think that the cases are not seeing the light of day and so on.
That was the reason I said, if I may, you know, interject a little bit. I said that the constitution of that committee, you know, was not so good. Let me use it advisedly. It was not so good because we had politicians in that committee, and there should have been an independent body to have, you know, rather gathered information from these politicians making those, you know, claims. Okay, and that would have really helped. Now there is conflict of interest. It means that they clearly use those things as promises and advantage to assume power. And now that they have assumed power, the citizenry is expecting them to do what? Deliver, rather than, you know, giving explanations and who said this. And so I think the A+ claim has stimulated, okay, the discourse on corruption once more, and we need to you know, treat it with all seriousness. Yeah.
Besides, apart from the chair of ORA, Mr. Ablakwa,
yeah,
none of the committee members can be classified as a politician. You know, the former Auditor General.
Maybe you can classify COP Kofi Boakye now as a politician.
He campaigned. He campaigned.
He campaigned.
Well, maybe I will look at his professional career
rather than his political career.
But a true and true politician is Mr. Ablakwa.
Right.
Right. And then
so the
Martin
two
Pegu,
because yes, Martin Pegu.
And
yes.
then
there was even Raymond Akwa.
Raymond Akwa. Yes, he's a journalist. Then crime with that kind of background. So,
yes.
But in actual fact, this oral thing, it was not supposed to be a place where people are going to be judged as being guilty or not guilty. It was just an information gathering. It was just that it was so much. The issues were obfuscated in the public domain as if they were going to be prosecutors, right? But their main mandate was just to gather information, which they did, and then they handed over to the Attorney General. Their job has ended. So it is now the business of the Attorney General. But if they are not seeing the cases or you are not getting conviction, I think that the Attorney General will have to respond to that. And then obviously our court system.
But you see, must oral as a concept, right? Oral as a concept.
Oral.
Must it have a termination point? Mustn't we continue to recover?
That's right.
Whether we're in power or.
And the reason I'm saying that you should have been an independent, you know, body. Independent.
You don't think the body is independent enough?
It's not independent.
Look, if you take someone like Martin Pegu, we honestly think that if Martin Pegu knows about any government appointee today, right?
He will bring it out.
Yeah, he will bring it up.
He will bring it out.
Yeah, so for him it's okay.
Yes.
But the foreign minister, I don't hold anything against him. But he should have
he for now is a bit conflicted. You can't be a minister and be seen to be exposing your own colleagues. I mean, he won't do that. He will focus on doing his job as Foreign Affairs Ministry.
You know, is that
he was the very person. The committee is disbanded.
The committee doesn't exist. Yes, exactly. But I'm saying that
he should not have been banded.
The idea
is in operation to even collect the oral within their party.
Or they should have handed it over to a different team. No, but you see, the only person who is in government from the oral team are three people.
Yeah.
Raymond Acha, COP Kofi Boakye, and Ablakwa. Domlevo is not in government.
He's not in government.
What's the name? Martin Pegu is not in government. Yeah. So they can go ahead and do their job.
Yeah.
For who to pay them? Even the job that they did, they were not remunerated. They didn't take anything.
Yeah, well.
Okay. According to Martin Pegu, they didn't take anything.
Okay.
So let's
but
let's make some
progress. Before I took a bite on the subject matter you brought, there is a particular issue that worries me in this country. And before I go to the next, it is about citizens asking for good roads from government. And when these roads are done, we see citizens doing road ramps.
Yes.
Endangering other road users.
That's true.
Just because a car has hit probably a child or some people are speeding. And I think this indiscipline, the Roads and Highway Authority, you have to look into that.
And the National Road Safety Commission.
National Road Safety Commission.
It's no minus. It's that
and
authority.
then the contractual arrangement, the contractual arrangement must include things of that nature. So that the contractor should know the kind of road ramps, right, that should be done, at which area. Because it is not the case that, because for example, is it 2 weeks or 2 weeks before Easter, right? The new road that has been done, the Sunyani, you know, that area. Beautiful asphalt. And then returning, we have to spend almost 2 hours. Look at the traffic volume from Kumasi direction to Sunyani. And the president was even going into Sunyani at that time. You see? And what happens? The citizens are not ready to do ABC and D. And it is becoming another security problem.
Right.
So if you are not a regular road user of that place, and you get there, you are going to get yourself involved in an accident.
Right.
And I think that this is an issue that is a worry. That is a worry. Citizens must complain, but Roads and Highway Authority, it is their business to ensure that things of that nature are done. And I'm encouraging that the new contract that have been let out, right, they should be able to do things of that nature. And if you look at the highway, right, the highway that they are building from here, from Accra to Takoradi, for example, you see it's going to be dual. Now you see that they have, in the middle of the road, you have some concrete done, and then the outer part. The other problem, what this means is that people just cannot get onto the street ordinarily, right, because it's going to be a highway. The other problem too is that we like selling by the roadside. This African mentality of thinking that if our wares are not displayed by the roadside, nobody can see it. Meanwhile, you are doing so because those who are using the road, you are expecting them to stop and buy your wares. But these are the same people you are creating problems for them. Because, believe you me, if we had markets, well-designed markets, there is no need, right, for anybody to sell by the road. Look at when you're going to Kumasi from Cape Coast, there is a particular taco, is it Fumko or something?
Is it Fumse?
Fumse. And on the market day, on the market day, on the market day, you see them selling in the road. What kind of African mentality is this?
Right.
Can't we grow? And when articulator loses the brake and they kill, all what a human being will do is to mourn. After that, they will go back.
Right.
So now, it is the business of the authority to make sure that things of that nature do not repeat themselves again. You cannot be selling in the road that is earmarked for vehicle.
So this is about, the enforcement of our bylaws.
Yeah.
Okay. Within our district assemblies and all that. If you fail to implement these beautiful laws that we have, Ghanaians are so intelligent, okay, that they can foresee, things that can happen and then take guard against that.
Right.
But the implementation of it.
It's the blackmailing. It's the blackmailing. Everybody is afraid of losing election, right?
Yeah.
Power is sweet. But if you show them the light and it is fairly done, nobody goes onto that particular area to sell. We will all sell at a place that is demarcated.
Yeah, so the political will is not there to ensure that. Now, should any, what we call it, law enforcer, as far as those bylaws are concerned, take action, what will happen is that you see political voices, ramming into such action because they believe.
I agree with you. Look at what the mayor of Kumasi is doing and saying now.
Okay.
Now they are going to arrest people who throw refuse about, if you record that.
Okay.
And then they'll give you 50% of the fine that will be slapped on that particular person. Leadership. Now, if you're able to implement that, everybody, and you say they are going to give you beans. so that you put those things in there.
Yeah.
You see, we need to get to a point where we do the right thing. You see, like for example, let me take this opportunity. UCC, for example.
Okay.
UCC, look at where the administration is. Now, whether for political reasons, and I'm bringing the mayor or the boss, you know, I'm calling him to order. Suddenly you have Pragya using the school bus road, and now they are parking on the other side. This is the main administration. You cannot do that in the University of Ghana. They don't have access to that. But the UCC finds itself in a very peculiar place, that you are surrounded by, you know, villages. You know, you have Kapro, you have, what's it called, those places, Amamuma and all those places. But this is a university. This is a university. And it is very appalling that you have Pragya who make all manner of noises. It is even difficult. I feel I am in danger driving through that particular place. Me that I'm driving a vehicle, I fear.
I see.
Yeah. So okay. But, you know,
then discipline is just too much.
That's right. This is just
man is not made for the law, but the law is made for
the man. Yeah. So this is just by the by.
Yeah.
It's
we need to
I think
apply
that he's run his monologue. He's done with his monologue on the on the dangers that are posed by.
There are a lot more issues that probably when we start the program, we'll outline those ones.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. I want us to look at this matter, which has also been. We'll take a short break, but before we come back, I want us to look at this issue, which has been in the public domain for some time now. It has to do with the LGBTQ plus and the government's declaration through the Minister for Government Communications and President spokesperson Felix Kwachu-Fosu that really and truly is not a priority for Ghanaians now. I mean, when Ghanaians wake up, they don't think about who is doing what with who. What Ghanaians are thinking about is how they can butter their bread, you know, how their roads can be built, how they can go to hospitals and get quality health care. But some have interpreted that to mean that the government has made a U-turn on the LGBTQ matter. Whether is that the case, or maybe the Minister for Government Communications was misunderstood. But also, the clergy have come under some massive criticisms, and the fact that in the past they were loud in calling out the Nanado administration for not passing the LGBTQ plus bill when it came before him. There's this talk that this same group of people have gone mute. They are not talking. It must have been a few days ago when the Methodist bishop also made some comments on this matter. But the Speaker of Parliament, who has publicly declared his, avowed commitment to making sure that Parliament passes the bill, has also spoken on this matter. So when we come back, we'll listen to the Speaker of Parliament, and then we'll look at some of what the papers are reporting this morning on this matter, and then perhaps that will be our final conversation or topic for the morning. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
6 cases that we have reviewed in detail. If we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion United States dollars. 20.49 billion United States dollars. The 36 cases, the high amount cases that we put together, and then the land loot, potentially we can raise about 21.19 billion United States dollars. And that is far more than what we have been chasing the IMF for.
A few moments later.
But as for the propaganda Kofi and Co are showing, to begin with, nobody had said that we're going to recover 21 billion.
Cases.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2- and 3-bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Hey, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today, me.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Wabedum time aso. Hey, Jay. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozing. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready. Hey, baby wom. Ah, Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral?
Say a sorry insecticide GB at a user. Co pharmacy in a shop biamu. Na mum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu to a cotonwa. On for Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. Efi spray with daimwa. Chansima a dronu. Ansana a radinum. Inkratui FDA ajatum.
Hey, Banty, why you there? What lie tell I today go give me my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba unze me din na dede baby. Scano ASA 500 cedis per. Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with one chat.
Visit the Wanna Own website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select one-shot game. Deposit to make an entry, then Pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cities.
So it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi.
Boom!
You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
We voted them into power. The cowardice that Christian leaders have been made to and religious leaders have been made to is a shame. And I'm embarrassed with some of our clergymen. As much as we are interested in our titles, in the big titles, and who we are and how long we served, I'm yet to hear certain people speak against these manners. And for me, that is a shame.
And I am appealing to politicians not to politicize homosexualism. Because if we don't take care, in our bid to try to be politically right, we'll be offending people who love us dearly. And I have a saying that the people who love you, don't hurt them.
I think it's about time we make politicians know we voted them into power. The cowardice that Christian leaders have been made to and religious leaders have been made to is a shame. And I'm embarrassed with some of our clergymen. As much as we are interested in our titles, in the big titles, and who we are and how long we served, I'm yet to hear certain people speak against these manners. And for me, that is a shame.
And I am appealing to politicians not to politicize homosexualism. Because if we don't take care, in our bid to try to be politically right, we'll be offending people who love us dearly. And I have a saying that the people who love you, don't hurt them.
All right. Bright, what happened to the album bargaining tape? Please, let's play the album bargaining tape. He's come out to speak publicly on this matter. Okay. All right. I'm told the tape is not ready yet. When it's ready, would play it. Anyway, so let me do this. So if you go to today's custodian, it says fearless, fair, and reliable. There's a publication in here. It says that LGBTQ plus clergymen vocal and the MPP mute under NDC, but Catholic Methodist bishops still voices of conscience. Now, the story is on page 3 of today's papers, and it says that the tongues are wagging over an incredibly widespread belief that some clergymen are showing hypocritical tendencies towards the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, popularly referred to as anti-LGBTQ plus or homosexuality bill in Ghana. Now, these men of God were extremely vocal and publicly expressed their opposition to LGBTQ plus rights, making it a topic for political campaign with hostile demands. The President Akufo-Addo should sign the bill, which was passed by Parliament with a number of provisions described by some human rights and constitutional lawyers as unconstitutional. Now, they all preached incessantly against LGBTQ plus in their churches under the previous government. However, more than 15 months under President John Dramani Mahama as presidency, the hitherto vociferous clergymen have softened their stance under the current dispensation, changing remarkably like chameleons, apparently to blend into their new political environment. They have either suddenly gone dumbed, known in Ghanaian parlance as mumu, or they have watered down their viewpoints on the LGBTQ plus matters. As a result, all well-meaning Ghanaians are beginning to question whether they were engaging in a genuine advocacy against LGBTQ plus, or they were simply on a contrived mission for regime change, as some of them have either been appointed by President Mahama or their children have received juicy appointments in government. Among these clergymen were President of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, Dr. Lawrence Tete, founder of Perez Chapel International, Archbishop Charles Ejenasari, General Superintendent of Assemblies of God, Reverend Stephen Yenusom Wengam. The rest were Senior Pastor of Alabaster International Ministry, Professor Kofi Oduro, founder and Apostle General of Royal House Chapel International, Reverend Sam Kranchankra, and Deputy Imam of the Ali Sunnah wal Jamal in Ghana, Sheikh Mohammed Kamil Samuddin. Thus, Proverbs 10:9 says, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. It appears that the true colors of these men of God are being gradually exposed, which marks of hypocrisy that both the Bible and the Quran strongly abhor. Dr. Lawrence Tete vowed to march to the seat of government if President Akufo-Addo did not sign the LGBTQ bill. And now, speaking on TV3 recently, Dr. Lawrence Tete appeared to have moved away from his own stance and strong commitment to anti-LGBTQ+. And he says, I'm appealing to the politicians not to politicize this homosexuality issue because if we don't take care in our bid to be politically right, we will be offending people who love us dearly. I have a saying that the people who love you, you don't hate them. The Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the presiding bishop of the Methodist Church, Professor Kwabena Asamoah-Gyedu, he has been consistent and vocal voices against LGBTQ+, demanding swift passage and assent to the bill. They recently condemned claims that President Mahama and his presidential spokesperson, Minister for Government Communication, Felix Kwakye-Fosu, that the bill was no longer important, even though they promised, while in opposition, to make it a topmost priority in government. Now, okay, so the statement apparently he made a statement on GTV, not TV3. So let me correct that. So the bishops dismissed what they termed as a false divide between economic priorities and moral considerations, arguing that strong family systems are closely tied to improved educational outcomes, lower crime rates, and enhance economic mobility. To weaken the moral ecology of the family is to erode the very conditions that make sustainable development possible. Now, in the same paper, we're told that the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Bagwing, says the bill will be passed. So that's an assurance coming from him. And it is also here in the same paper, Custodian. It says the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagwing, has given assurance that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, popularly referred to as anti-LGBTQ+ bill, will be passed by the current Parliament. He made the remarks at the Kaswa Traditional Leaders and Stakeholders Forum, which brought together community leaders, residents, and government officials to discuss key development issues affecting the municipality. Addressing the gathering, Speaker Bagwing explained that a delay in the bill's passage into law was due to the refusal of the former president to assent to it after it was approved by the previous Parliament. According to him, the bill, which sparked intense national debate, was largely driven by public input and reflects the values and concerns expressed by many Ghanaians and traditional authorities. He stressed that Parliament remains committed to ensuring that the legislation reflects the will of the people, adding that the current composition of the House places it in a stronger position to carry the bill through. Be sure, I am there, the law will be passed. When the former president declined to assent it, when that Parliament ended it, it ended with that bill in the hands of the former government or the former Parliament. You agree with me that the Parliament is not the same as the last Parliament. It is very different. 137, and also 20 women MP, 20 women NDC. This Parliament is 189 as against 87. Mr. Bagwin assured that the bill will be passed when Parliament reconvenes, signaling renewed momentum behind one of its most debated pieces of legislation in recent years. The Human Sexual Rights and Family Values bill seeks to regulate issues relating to sexual orientation and family values and has generated widespread public discourse, drawing both strong support and criticism from various sections of society. So, is it true that sections of the clergy are being hypocritical? And again, the fact that the passage of the bill is not really a priority for Ghanaians at the moment. Of course, I've said that the Speaker says that the bill will be passed, at least in this Parliament. We would also find out whether indeed positions have changed, which is where some people were very vociferous, were passionate in the past, and all of a sudden it appears that that passion has died down, or maybe we have misunderstood them. But let's watch this video. The Speaker on the Right Honourable Alban Sumana Bagwing, Speaker of Parliament. Let's watch this video.
To the bill, as you know, the 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. They all ended with the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore, what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. And so it was reintroduced. In spite of the challenges I had with the former president, it was actually transmitted to the former president. They wrote to tell us that they will not assent to it. The only constitutional error they committed was they didn't give us the reasons why they will not assent to it. And they did not also transmit the bill back to us. They imprisoned it there. And so we didn't get the bill back. So the 9th Parliament, on resumption, took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up. They've gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed. I made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We'll process it as private members' bill. Now, the processes had finished, and as you know, it has to come back to the Speaker. You know our rules have given what the Speaker is expected to do, which I will do before it can be laid in the House. That was not done. And so when it was put on the order paper, I queried it because you haven't heard from me according to the standing order. So that will be done before it's laid before the House. But because a lot of work has already been done, we think that it's going to have smooth process in the House because both sides of the House now support it, and His Excellency the President has given indication that he's ready and willing at any time that is passed by the House to assent to it. Honorable members, this language was proposed by me as the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee. Initially, our laws were not passed that way. But the 1992 Constitution is clear in its rendition. We had to debate this as to how to couch the intro, or what we call the preamble of the bills. The preamble of the bills, which legally is termed the enacting formula of bills. There was a debate chaired by the then Speaker, D.F. Anang, and I had to propose this, and everybody was convinced, and it's been adopted since then. And that's why you have it. We will say passed by the Parliament of Ghana and assented to by the President. That was not the enacting formula. And I think it has worked for us. So please, hold your peace. It will come sooner than later. Civil society is getting restless again, but I want to assure them that they know my passion in this matter. And I want to get it properly passed so that implementation becomes easier. There are a few things that our attention has been drawn to, which we'll work on together here, so that when we pass the bill, It's a bill that is accepted by all, and we will definitely obey the prescriptions of the bill. So please, I thank you all for
members of Parliament. So a number of members of Parliament who believe in it decided to promote it in Parliament. And you know the things I said before. I'm not a man of words. I'm a man of action. And that is how we got it passed in Parliament. But for some reason, the President did not assent to it. That one is his own mangana, not me. I'm sure one of the reasons why you punished him and his party is one of this one. So we started and we processed it. It has gone through all the stages, and the next meeting of Parliament will hear us asking to pass that bill into law. So don't listen to people who don't know what is in Parliament. Please, I repeat, don't listen to people who don't know what is in Parliament. His Excellency the President assured me that when we pass the bill and it comes to him, he has stated it before, he was going to assent it. So please, leave the rumor mongers. They can play that kind of calumny, bad politics. That is not what we are here for. We are different from those practicing it. Our cultures and values and principles are different. They know the effect and what it is doing to them. We resist it today. We will not be colonized again. That is gone. It's history.
All right, so that's the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Alban Sumana Babing, making his position known publicly on this matter of the passage of the human sexual rights and proper human values. And human values as far as so I'm talking about the anti-gay bill is concerned. Now, he's had to come out to comment publicly on this matter, because there have been some public comments which suggest that perhaps his commitment levels have actually even subsided, and that's why I'm sure that he's had to come out to say no, he's still committed to seeing the bill passed in Parliament. And as you do know, some of the papers have actually carried that story in there. Now, gentlemen, let me start with you, Dr. Jonathan Autry. This whole anti-gay bill matter and the suggestion that it appears that the NDC's posture has changed and that they were very vociferous in the past, literally forcing the then administration to pass the bill. And they were all over the place, convened all kinds of meetings, able to get all kinds of people to collaborate with them to get another to pass the bill which was passed in Parliament, or to assent to the bill which was passed in Parliament. And then all of a sudden, the same NDC is in power, and we've seen a certain feet-dragging attitude there. We saw the fire which the party had then appears to have been dying, and people wondering what exactly is the issue. And then, of course, in the NPP, they were not that vociferous in the past. They were quiet, and they thought that the NDC were up to some mischief. They were very uncomfortable with what the NDC was doing, and they gave all the reasons to support the president's decision not to sign the bill, and to sign the bill into law. They now have become very active and doing everything possible to make sure that the bill is passed. So it appears that there's been a swap in positions. Is that what you also see?
I don't see that to be the case.
Okay.
The issue of this anti-gay bill, or the advocacy against it, started because of some commentary that our former president is purported to have made on Al Jazeera. about this drive, right? In some time past, so and so happened. And if there is that kind of drive, probably that may see the light of day. So you had a president whose posturing was opposed to our value system. So that is probably why it gained currency. Fast forward, you have a president now who has lost the opportunity to be given an honorary doctorate by university in the, is it in the UK?
In the state.
In the United States, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That his position on this particular borders on human rights, for which reason they have declined. You cannot compare the two.
Yeah.
So from that angle alone, you should see that somebody is committed, the other person was not committed. Even apart from that, to get to a point where the bill had been passed, got into the presidency, and look at the politics over there. And how the president himself told us that somebody had already sent the matter to court.
You're talking about Lincoln University.
Yes, Lincoln. Yeah. Somebody had already sent the matter to court. When in actual fact, that case had not gotten to court yet. So you could see that there was not that kind of commitment on the part of the previous government and the previous president. That is the more reason why civil society, the clergy, and everybody else, right, got incensed against the previous government. Now, the other point too ought to be made. I can see the motivation of the current assigns of the NPP, right, wanting to shift or shift the burden onto the current government, create the impression that the current government is equally as unprepared as they were, and that they are calling on these clergy and other things, demonstrating the fact that these people have been what? Sycophants, and so on, calling them all manner of names. I think that as a matter of urgency, the leadership of the NPP, their assigns and those who follow, they must come to terms with the laws, the 2024 election laws. They must come to terms.
Okay.
Sometimes the way they speak is as if they think they were doing better, and that people use propaganda against them for them to lose.
Right.
And it cannot always be said that it is only LGBTQ that led to your loss. You had so many, you were grappling with so many issues, to the point that even your own colleagues in Parliament had to ask for a finance minister to resign. So in actual fact, you are not doing well. It is not because LGBTQ. And also, let me also put in context that I think that what the communication minister or minister for government communication, that is not a priority, I think I would want to consider that as a miscommunication. Everything else is as important as this. We need the roads, right? We need to feed. If you don't have tomatoes, we need to, right? All of these things are important. So don't suggest, because communication of that nature, people can read, right, different meanings into it and think that the current government is reneging. And I am saying that it cannot be that a president who will suffer a situation where a university that had already announced that they're going to give him an honorary doctorate, and because of this stance, his stance on LGBTQ, that thing is declined. You cannot compare the two. It cannot be that the current government under President Mahama is reneging. Besides, the president told the clergy when they visited, I think, 2025, early 2025, he felt that some of these things come with some cost. So he would have preferred that the bill would have come from government, right, instead of private members' bill, because at the end of the day, the burden will come onto government or the state. And the government must equally, show some kind of interest in things of that nature. Well, it appears that has not really started. And the private members' bill has started. And it's gotten to a stage, the speaker has already spoken on that. And the nature of the speaker, I believe that, they will definitely get it through. What is beautiful about this is the fact that it's from both sides.
That's fine. But you see, speaking about what Felix said, I mean, are you suggesting, Doc, that when an average Ghanaian wakes up,
of course, Of course, he's not thinking about that.
Yes.
It's about, butter and bread.
Yes.
It is true.
Yes.
But you see,
school fees.
you are
You just,
communicating
when you came
politically.
this morning, you were complaining about roads.
Yeah.
Because when you woke up this morning, it was something that was agitating your mind. That people just wake up and they put all kinds of things in the roads, all kinds of ramps in the road. And that's a major issue for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the people who live in that enclave, where you are talking to us about, when they wake up, that's their major issue. Okay? The person who is growing tomatoes somewhere, he wants to cut or ferry that tomatoes to Accra, is thinking about how to get those tomatoes so they don't get rot. So I'm saying they don't get rotten. I'm saying that, generally speaking, that is not to say there are no Ghanaians, or Ghanaians generally do not care
They do.
about, the activities of, homosexuals and they do. But is that something they wake up every day and think about?
Not at all. Not at all.
Or maybe it's the way the communication was couched.
So I am of the view that you could have said everything.
Okay.
Without placing one ahead of the other.
That one is a priority more than the other.
Yes.
But that's a fact, isn't it?
It is a fact, but you are communicating politically.
Okay.
So you see now, the opposition is latching on that to think that the current government is reneging.
Yeah.
They want equalization. Oh, we told you. But they're creating the impression that we told you. They are unprepared as, they wouldn't say they were unprepared as they were. But of course, they are calling on your hypocrisy that you use it as propaganda against them. They were prepared to do A, B, C, and D. When we all know that your record is very bad when it comes to LGBTQ.
All right.
So Mr. Felix could still have communicated without, and the impact will still have been felt.
All right. So let me just say that GMG is brought to you by Metro Digital. Good Morning Ghana is now brought to you by Metro Digital. And I'll tell you a bit more about Metro Digital at the right time. But let me say that Discover MNC Group Global, your #1 partner in minerals and food commodity, trading, real estate development, general logistics, procurement, management consultants, investment advisory, import and export. They have headquarters in East Legon, one in Accra, of course, East Legon, Accra, Ghana. There's MSC Group. They have offices in Dubai. They have it in Hong Kong and Guangzhou in China. Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia, USA, Arezzo in Italy and Hanover, Germany. We connect markets that drive business growth with tailor-made solutions to meet your needs. Trust us to maximize your value in every deal. Reach us on MNC Group at mncgroupgh.com or call us on 0302 998-246. That is 0302 998-246 or 026 5505-337 or 056-103-2252. MNC Group, totally reliant. Big Boss, we have only 4 minutes to end the show. Only 4 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
My apologies.
Thank you.
Right.
This is a reflection of the societal values. But I'll start by asking a question that are we going to be here in the next 3 years to have this as a subject to discuss? Because we thought there was going to be a time where all these noise about LGBTQ would end. But it appears it has come up again. All right? LGBTQ, is that, our value? Is it part of our value, Umaru? I want to ask, is it part of our value as Africans? Or for that matter, Ghanaians? Is it part? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, the thing to consider is about the kind of treatment that we will give victims. Okay, are we going to mistreat them for having engaged in the act? No, we don't have to. Experts have said that LGBTQ is an abnormality in persons. And so if that is the case, they are ready to offer their expertise in trying to, solve the situation. But in doing that, we shouldn't make it seem as if it should be accepted all over, the world. And even the Trump himself, Donald Trump, whose country is the originator of LGBTQ, so to speak, assume power and revoke all, orders bothering these LGBTQ. Now, Olympics is saying that cross-genders cannot, transgenders cannot compete in games. When they started, United Kingdom, European countries, the West, they all supported the LGBTQ. But with the, assumption of power of Trump, he has cancelled, and all of them have also begun following same.
To him, there are only two sexes.
Yeah,
male and female.
And that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's it. Okay, so we should not, encourage it. And those who already find themselves in the whole, situation, we should rather help them.
Okay.
You get it? But to come back to my colleague here, it is easy to reference the past.
Okay.
In terms of the previous administration, the attitude towards, assenting to it and all that. Okay. Yeah. So, time
is not a great friend.
But give me some few time, otherwise.
I know. So you can deliver on the topic more comprehensively.
So what I'm trying to So what I'm trying to say is that my colleague went to the past.
Yes.
Okay, to mention what the past administration, his attitude towards the assenting of to the bill, was like, and how to. But unfortunately, the utterances, of his own people, I mean the party, NDC people right now, is indicative of the fact that they have problem with that, passage of bill.
The bill,
okay.
All right.
And if you have such a challenge, what is happening is that there's no way you're going to pay, and that
the speaker says you make sure that it's passed.
The speaker is independent of the presidency. And the communicator.
But it's going to pass in Parliament. So once it says to do it,
it is going to be passed. But assenting to it, and the reason I asked, a legitimate question that in 3 years' time, are we going to be here discussing all these things?
Okay, so let's do this. So good morning. Good morning to Dr. Hayford from his level 200 weekend strategic communication students at AUCB. We hope he's doing well. We just want to respectfully say that a Saturday midterm exams felt quite strict. They should kindly take it a bit easy on us next time. We're trying our best, and all his students are watching. And then finally, let me just do this from they call it. This man. Oh God. I need to do this. It's very important to me. Oh, I don't know why. Mancha Bruce. Let me do this. Mancha Bruce. It says, the NDC never ceases to amaze me. 2024, LGBTQ plus was deemed as critical as the economy. Yet in 2026, it has no longer been a priority. It's obvious President Mohamed's famous comment of no kre kakra and tro kakra is at play. They lie their way to power and have now fallen on their own dagger. Their dishonesty is disgustingly pathetic. Amazing convictions. Mancha Bruce the second. Thank you very much for watching another edition of Good Morning Ghana. I'm fourthly. I'm so sorry.